Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
En The Home Depot, te traemos el secreto para tener el mejor jardín. Empieza agregando Miracle Grow Soil a tu jardín. Tiene todo lo que tus plantas necesitan para crecer fuertes. Llévate ahora en compra especial 4 bolsas por $10. Después, mantén alejadas las malas hierbas con Scott's Earth Grow Mulch. Ahora 4 bolsas por $10. ¿Y listo? Nadie tiene por qué enterarse. Llévate todo para tu jardín con los ahorros de Memorial Day en The Home Depot.
This is Cashing Out on VSiN, the sports betting network.
What a game we have. What a finish coming up in Oklahoma City. 1 minute, 39 seconds left. Jokic hitting a spin around, fade away, top of the key three to tie it up. It is 103 apiece with just under 100 seconds to go. 99 seconds left to be exact. The Thunder inbounding the ball. We are going to take you right through the finish of this game. Cashing out with Joe Ceraulo. It is heating up in OKC. We took the Thunder just a few minutes ago at the break, laying 1.5 minus 105 live. Can Oklahoma City get home? Here's a three. It's wide open. It's good. Let's go, OKC. Up 3. Jalen Williams. Bang. Timeout Nuggets. Minute 18 to go. 3-point game. This is the finish we were hoping for. And I'll tell you what. I have heard so many people over the last 2 days talk about this Game 5 and write the Nuggets off as if they were toast this series because they blew the fourth quarter Game 4. And it just made no sense to me. I looked at this Nuggets team and I said, look, do I think they win Game 5? I do not. But I think 10 points, and eventually it closed at 10.5, is too many to lay in Oklahoma City. And I heard people comparing this Game 5 to Game 2, and Oklahoma City won Game 2 by 47, and going into Game 2, we had 2 games that night, right? What was it, last week, Wednesday? We had Celtics-Knicks, we had Thunder-Nuggets. Both home teams were down 1-0 in the series. Both home teams were laying 10 or 10.5. Celtics minus 10, Thunder minus 10.5. And I said last Tuesday night here on the show, a week ago exactly, I said I would be more inclined to lay the double-digit number with the Thunder than the Celtics. What happened? Knicks beat Boston outright. Oklahoma City won by 47. This Game 5, I wanted nothing to do with that double-digit number. And I said it yesterday on the program. I had no action pre-flop. I have action now, Thunder minus 1.5. But I said pre-flop, I think Oklahoma City wins Game 5. I think Denver stays within the number. And Oklahoma City getting a rebound here. We have crossed the 60-second mark. We are inside a minute to go. Thunder up 3. They are not going to cover this number. And I don't know why so many people thought any team led by Nikola Jokic and his 44 points was dead and gone and would be willing to lay 10 with OKC as they drain a top of the key 3. SGA MVP from 3. 6-point lead. Wow, maybe the Thunder can cover this 10.5 point number. Up 6. We just need them to cover 1.5. Wow. Can the Nuggets answer with a 3? Air ball, no good. Offensive rebound, tipped out of bounds, OKC. Nuggets ball, 30 seconds to go. What a wild finish we are watching in OKC right now. I mean, this thing is crazy. The Thunder were down 90-81. They are on a 28-13 run in the last 9.5 minutes of play. Shades of Game 4 all over again, where the Nuggets have a lead going into the fourth, and OKC just wakes up and turns it on in the fourth quarter. Here's the off-balance three. Aaron Gordon rattles around and out. Thunder ball. Are the Nuggets going to foul? What are they doing here? All right, finally, the Nuggets fouled. I mean, OKC could have damn near dribbled this thing out. Wow, free throws might be massive here. 6-point game. SGA to the line. He's been money from the stripe. Free throws could be massive. Could OKC actually cover that 10.5-point number that I wanted nothing to do with? Could they get there? Unbelievable. Folks, in the last 2 days, and we are pending 2 bets here, Yankees down 1. I can't believe the Yankees are down 1-0 right now. Took Yankees money line minus 135, and they're down 1-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. Unbelievable what's going on in Seattle. I love Brian Wu. I know how good Brian Wu is. Brian Wu got worked by the Athletics his last time out. The Yankees have not scored a single run. Max Fried's unless they score in the top of the 9th, and Judge and Bellinger just hit in the top of the 8th for them, so they don't have the strongest part of their lineup due up, unless they have some late-game heroics from maybe a Paul Goldschmidt or an Austin Wells. The Yankees going to lose 1-0. We have won last 2 days, pending the Yankees, pending this Thunder bet. We are 8 for our last 9. 8-1. 6-1 Monday, 2-0 so far Tuesday night's games, pending the Yanks, pending the Thunder. We're kicking ass and taking names right now, folks. OKC minus 1.5 live. This is why I say the NBA is best bet live. And we had the Pacers pre-flop, catching 8, and they win outright. And I wish I played a money line plus 250. But if we waited, first quarter could have gotten a much better number than 8. They were down, 31-19 after the first quarter in Cleveland? The NBA is best bet live. You could have gotten OKC catching as many as 4.5 when they were down 9 earlier in the evening. This is some night. In the last 2 games, the Oklahoma City Thunder have outscored Denver 62-35 in the fourth quarter. 62-35 in the fourth quarter, last 2 games. They just flip a switch. And I wonder if it's because they have fresher legs. They're a deep team. Denver is not a deep team. Denver's been running a heavy 6-man rotation as a Jamal Murray layup makes it a 6-point game. Jalen Williams gets fouled, 16 seconds left, up 6, Thunder to the line. All of a sudden, if you had the Nuggets plus 10, 10.5, you must have been counting your money when they were up 9 with 10 minutes to go. Even if they didn't win the game, they were up 9 with 10 minutes to go. Since then, Oklahoma City on a 30-15 run, up 6. Williams at the line, 16 seconds left. What's going to happen first? We have a commercial break in 4.5 minutes. There's 16 seconds left in the game. What are we going to get to first here, the commercial or the conclusion? You know how the final 2 minutes work in an NBA game. I think this segment started with about 100 seconds left in the game. We've still got 16 to go. All right, Williams goes 1 of 2 from the line, 7-point game. Here's Murray taking way too much time. Off balance 3, right wing, no good. Offensive board, batted around. Thunder rebound, they dribble it out. That's your final, ladies and gentlemen. Oklahoma City wins it 112-105. The Thunder up 3-2 with a 7-point Game 5 win. Nikola Jokic looks exhausted. He played 44 minutes. He poured in 44 points in those 44 minutes. 15 boards, 5 assists. Nikola Jokic has left quite literally blood, sweat, and tears out on the court this series. And he will now go home trying to fend off elimination Game 6 as the Thunder go up 3-2 in this series. Jamal Murray added 28 for the Nuggets in the loss. For OKC, 6 players, all 5 starters with a dozen or more. SGA, MVP, 31 points, 7 dimes, 6 boards. Jalen Williams with 18. Hartenstein, 15 and 7. Holmgren, 14 and 8. Williams had 9 boards, by the way. Lou Dort, 12 points and a lot of harassing defense. 4 for 8 from deep, including some clutch threes, a pair of them late for Dort. Caruso, speaking of great defense, some tough minutes off the bench, 13 points as well. The Thunder, plus 15 in the fourth quarter, 34-19. Again, they were down 10 minutes to go, 90-81. They go on a 31-15 run to close. We got them when the game was 96 all, minus 1.5. Pulled the trigger, live bet. We have now hit 9 of our last 10 bets on the show. If the Yankees can get some late inning magic, some late game magic in the top of the 9th, we can potentially have a 10-1 stretch over 2 days. Let's see if we can get there. The Yankees' bats have been dormant tonight. But OKC, 112-105, going to the Mile High City with a chance to clinch their spot opposite, in all likelihood, Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals later this week. Folks, later this week, the Preakness Stakes right around the corner. Bet the Preakness Stakes with our friends over at First Bet and get rewarded. New customers can use the promo code VSiN200 to score a 20% rebate on all wagers for the first 60 days up to $200. That's win or lose, you get paid back. Download the First Bet app or go to first.com/bet. Use the promo code VSiN200 and get started today. That's first.com/bet. Promo code VSiN200. I can't wait. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little Preakness Stakes. We're going to talk NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs. This man does it all. Maybe, just maybe, he's even got some plays on the diamond for Wednesday's heavy MLB slate. What do we have on Wednesday? 17 games? Couple of doubleheaders, Philly, St. Louis. By the way, the St. Louis Cardinals, this is already their 3rd doubleheader of the year. They've swept each of their last 2 doubleheaders. Do we go Cardinals, moneyline parlay? I know our buddy Dan Groeschel tweeted that at the show. Make sure you tweet at the show. At the Joe Ceraulo. Get involved. We're just getting started, and we're having fun all night long. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo. Mike Somich, VSiN's pony expert, on the other side. You don't want to miss it.
En The Home Depot, te traemos el secreto para tener el mejor jardín. Empieza agregando Miracle Grow Soil a tu jardín. Tiene todo lo que tus plantas necesitan para crecer fuertes. Llévate ahora en compra especial 4 bolsas por $10. Después, mantén alejadas las malas hierbas con Scott's Earth Grow Mulch. Ahora 4 bolsas por $10. Y listo, nadie tiene por qué enterarse. Llévate todo para tu jardín con los ahorros de Memorial Day en The Home Depot.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with myself, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the late hours of your Tuesday night, right on into your Wednesday morning for our friends over on the East Coast. And now, taking you over to the Progressive Guest Line as we welcome in VSiN host, capper, analyst. He does it all here. Every sport, every role, you name it. Mike Somich joining us now on the Progressive Guest Line. Fresh off, we had him on a couple weeks ago, an incredible Kentucky Derby performance. Mike, I know it's been a week and a half, and in sports, the calendar moves quickly, but I've got to give you your flowers, man, because I tailed you with Sovereignty to win, and we cashed out there, but you took it a step further with the superfecta. What was the payout on that again? Remind me.
It was a phenomenal Kentucky Derby day. $24 bet paid $1,680 back. So everyone who played it got at least $1,600 back if you played it for $1. We had some VSiN subscribers who played it for $10, cashed out $35,000 on the superfecta in the Kentucky Derby. The stories that I've gotten back are absolutely incredible, Joe, from just Thomas Gable over there in the Borgata Sportsbook in New Jersey. He had an 80-year-old woman who came up and never bet horses, and she showed him my superfecta ticket. He punched it in for her. She had $2 on it, so she took home $3,200. Just the people that reach out and talk about, hey, I've never bet horse racing before. I bet Sovereignty. I bet your super. Like, is this repeatable? Is this something that I should care about? It's just phenomenal to get that information back. And the people that have donated, just hats off to those people as well who gave back to the PDJF or gave back to the Aftercare Fund. I really appreciate everyone kind of chipping in if they were able to get a little extra money there on Kentucky Derby Day.
That is absolutely amazing. And look, I, admittedly didn't do the superfecta, still fairly new, a horse betting novice myself, but I did, after listening to you, doing a little bit of my own research, I did land on Sovereignty, and it did make me the talk of the town at the Kentucky Derby party I was at. I was the only guy who had Sovereignty at the entire party. So thank you, Mike, because you actually helped me out at the party and at the bar that night, my man, with your pick. So that's always a good time. Let's go NBA playoffs here before we circle back to the Preakness. OKC fresh off a Game 5 comeback win, but you've got some concerns about the Thunder despite the win. What did you see? What have you seen this series from this team?
I'm lost in the NBA, Joe, and not because it's been an unsuccessful playoffs, anything like that. I look at the teams that are left. I don't know who's good. I don't know if anyone is good, Joe. I don't know. It's crazy when you watch these games and you watch Oklahoma City take on Denver, who's not a great defensive team, who is essentially playing with 6 players. And one of them is Michael Porter Jr., who is wearing shoulder pads when he is trying to play these games. Yeah. And somehow Oklahoma City can't pull away early. They can't blow them out. They're Denver's still getting good shots against this defense. And you watch Oklahoma City play offense and it just feels like a struggle. It's just tough because Shea, who is one of the top 5 players in the NBA, is predominantly a 2-point shooter. He wants to get in the lane. He wants to get to the free throw line. And you don't have a bunch of 3-point shooters surrounding him. You guys that are okay, right? I mean, Lou Dort, he went off tonight. He's been pretty bad coming into this series. You saw Chet Holmgren struggle from 3 earlier in the series as well. Same with Williams, both of them. It's not a cohesive offense. And when you watch the quality of shots they're getting versus the quality of shots Denver's getting, Denver's are just better. It's just that the guys can't make them right now. It makes you wonder, okay, when does this eventually fall apart for Oklahoma City? It's the same issue we saw last year when they took on Dallas, where it fell apart because Dallas hit open shots. Is it Minnesota that's going to hit open shots? I don't know. I don't really trust them shooting either. So maybe this isn't Oklahoma City, the team that's able to get out of the West. You look over in the East, and I think the Pacers are the best team in the East right now, which is wild to say. 30-1 to win the NBA title. Just a week ago, they're sitting at sub 8-1 now. And it feels like they are the team to beat, which is just crazy considering where we started and where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will say about the Thunder, I'm seeing everything you're seeing, and I agree with you 100%. This has been a lackluster performance despite the 3-2 lead. I think it's got to do more with matchups than anything, and I think Jokic is just a matchup nightmare for them. Even though Denver's a bad defensive team, even though Denver doesn't have the depth OKC has, Holmgren and Hartenstein, for various reasons, just can't stop Jokic. And I think Minnesota will be a better matchup for the Thunder. I think that if they can close this series out, they will go to the finals. But would you be intrigued in taking a flyer on either the Knicks or the Pacers to win it all because of what you've seen from OKC?
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers to me would be the team. And I agree with you from a matchup perspective. Jokic does cause trouble because he is a center. And if you look at the wings that Oklahoma City could throw at Anthony Edwards, that feels like it would at least slow Anthony Edwards down.
Right.
It's going to come down to whether or not anyone can shoot against this Oklahoma City team, because there are open threes to be had. It's, can you knock them down against OKC? And can OKC figure out how to run their offense successfully game in and game out, something they've not been able to do against Denver. When I look over in the East, look, the Knicks are probably the best team, assuming they don't get tired and they're completely healthy. And both of those, to me, are a little bit of an issue here, just because you are rolling out 5 guys who are playing 35, 40 minutes a game. And that catches up to you in the NBA playoffs, which is a very physical game compared to what we have seen during the regular season. So you have a team in the Pacers that run out 10 guys. It's McConnell, it's Toppin, it's Halliburton, it's all of these dudes that just can handle the ball, they can shoot, and they push the pace. And I'm really interested to see what happens when you have an Indiana team who decides to guard the Knicks at 94 feet every single possession. The full court press is on. You've got to use all your energy just to get the ball to half court. And then now we're going to wear you down on top of that, and we'll keep rotating in our 10. You keep playing your 5. We'll see how that works out in 7 games.
And it was a bloodbath in 7 games last postseason. I mean, Knicks up 2-0, Pacers win 4 out of the last 5. It was physical. It got chippy. It was great basketball. It was great entertainment. Didn't go the way I had hoped as a Knicks fan, obviously. But how do you think Game 5 is going to go now? No Tatum, obviously, had the successful surgery on the Achilles. Knicks catching 4.5 plus $1.60. Money line. Would you go money line? What do you think Game 5?
Yeah, I'm playing the Knicks. I already have a 4.5 ticket in. I would sprinkle the money line as well. When I went through and I adjusted my numbers for Tatum out, I made this Boston -4. So already I'm getting a half point. But those adjustments don't include for the version of Porzingis that we have seen in this series. Right. The dude just looks lost out there. He can't make a 3. He can't make a 2. He's slow. It also doesn't adjust for the version of Jaylen Brown we're seeing in this series, where he's having struggles again, handling the ball, being able to create his own offense. And I think I'm undervaluing Tatum. You watch that game where he played, which he blows out his Achilles. He had 5 steals, 2 blocks. He was doing everything on both ends of the floor for this Celtics team, which is already missing Sam Hauser. Like, I get it. Pritchard's going to come in. He's going to be able to ignite some offense, but I just don't trust these players on the Celtics side that they're as good as my current ratings say, based on the version that we are seeing in the games that my eyeballs are watching. So I'm willing to take the Knicks plus 4.5 here. And I do think it's worth sprinkling on the money line, because if you're playing a dog, you got to believe they can win the game.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on this one. And no Celtic aside from Tatum, and Derek White showed up in that Game 4. So I certainly don't have faith in Boston to have that next man up here in Game 5, especially when they've got to be deflated as hell losing Tatum here. Mike, I do want to circle back to the ponies a little bit here and touch on the Preakness. Much shorter field, 9 ponies in the race. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Are we looking at 5 straight years that the winner of the Preakness did not run in the Kentucky Derby? So how does that impact your outlook? Because I think this is a conducive race for journalism and a conducive track, but that trend would tell us maybe look at a horse that didn't run a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so we've seen winners not run in the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby winner has not run 2 of the last 4 years in the Preakness, and I kind of agree with you on the journalism front. I've been hunting fixed odds markets all day. I have not found anything. Journalism 8 to 5 on the morning line. That plays out toward plus 160 on a fixed odds market. If I could find journalism plus 160, I would be backing up the Brinks truck right now. This race sets up wonderfully for him. You've got 5 horses that want to be forwardly placed, 2 that want the lead. He's able to handle a paceless race or a race with quite a bit of pace. Sandman's going to take some money. I've got no interest in betting Sandman back here, coming back off 2 weeks off that Derby performance where he wasn't very good. To me, it's journalism, it's River Thames, and then whoever you believe is the horse that sticks around between goal-oriented, the 1, and clever again, the 8. That's going to be your top 3 in the Preakness.
Any interest on American Promise? A little bit of a strong start, and then just totally the wheels came off at Churchill Downs. Any interest there at a juicy 15-1?
No. Not even a little bit, Joe. And this is a horse that was buzzed around the Derby. 31 morning line went off with 12-1. I don't think American Promise is very good. Everyone's pointing back to the Virginia Derby. The Virginia Derby came back bad. Like, no one else has run really well out of that race. We haven't seen American Promise until this Kentucky Derby. He actually got a decent trip. He got a better trip than Owen Almighty. Owen Almighty stuck around for fourth. American Promise is at the back of the pack. So hard for me to back that style of a horse coming back on 2 weeks rest.
Yeah, best option I found this morning when I looked around for journalism was plus 110. Like you, I'm looking for, plus 150, plus 160 or better. As always, terrific stuff. More cashing out, more picks, more winners. Up next, stay locked in. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with myself, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the late hours of your Tuesday night into your Wednesday morning for our East Coast friends. Mike Somich, VSiN host, analyst, expert with us on the Progressive guest line. Mike, you got cut off there as we were coming back from commercial. We were talking about the Wednesday MLB slate. We got like 17 games, couple of doubleheaders out there. Let's talk through the slate together because I've got to give out some winners on the diamond for tomorrow here shortly. Which games caught your attention that you were looking at?
Why I love betting starting pitchers, right?
Yeah,
so I'm all about what starting pitchers do I want to play? Do I want to fade? What are over pitchers, under pitchers? And I've got a simulator where I run the numbers and I come up with what I think is fair from once I plug in the weather for both the home and road team as well as a total. I can tell you right now, I'll be taking the over in the Rockies-Rangers game, which is currently sitting at 9.5, plus 110 to the over. Senzatella?
Antonio Senzatella.
I have played him over at least 3 times this year. It's worked out pretty well, so I know my model likes him over. And Patrick Corbin, I mean, every model likes him over. So I will be taking the over 9.5 tomorrow in the Rockies-Rangers game. My guess is my model is going to spit out 10.5. You can get plus 110 right now on the over. So that's one that jumped out right out of the gate to me. Nothing else just from a starting pitcher perspective jumps out. I mean, I will most likely have some type of Reds bet. Nick Lodolo is one of those starters that generally trends out very well. They're taking on the White Sox. You could probably lay the half run first half, get somewhere in the minus 145 range, which would be a play on my models, I'm guessing. The Mets would be another one, but they're going to be way too big of a favor for me to be interested there.
Yeah, 265 they're laying on the money line. That's per ESPN bet, which usually isn't too accurate to the rest of the market. But as we go through, ESPN, looking at the schedule with the pitching matchups, that's what we're seeing there. So that's a juicy number. I hate betting doubleheaders, Mike, because you never know who's going to come out flat. It's early, noon Eastern. But Bailey Ober's been really good ever since he got lit up in his first start of the year. He's opposite Dean Kramer. I think these guys squared off a week ago, and I took the Twins to not bat in the bottom of the 9th. Might be a DraftKings specific market. But it hit.
It is.
They scored in the 8th. They put up a 3 spot, and it hit 5-2. Now it's the same pitching matchup. Ober's been really good. They're a dog, even money. And on the money line, I don't know. It's just that doubleheader thing scares me. What are your thoughts on betting doubleheaders? Because I normally just stay away.
The first game I'm willing to bet. The second one I will not bet until the first one is at least midway through the game, so I have a better idea on how it's going to play. I like betting the first game because it feels like it is a more conducive game to what you would expect from a regular game, right? So if you see a closer, you're not going to see him in the second game. If you see 4 or 5 relievers, the starter in the second game is going to go longer. To me, the second game of the doubleheader is the game that is forcing adjustment in whatever numbers you're trying to put out. So I will rarely bet a second game before the first game is at least halfway through, if not finished. And then I'll come in and decide how to adjust my price on the second game. I do like things like taking starting pitcher over outs in the second game. Yep. If you see that team use a lot of bullpen in the first game, this one's going to be interesting, specifically the Twins-Orioles, because you've got an undecided starter for Baltimore in the second game, which means that they kind of need Kramer to go pretty deep in the first game. So you could almost try and play some of those over outs totals in the first game with Kramer, with the idea that if game 2 is a bullpen game, you kind of can't use your bullpen in game one tomorrow. So you can try and find correlations between that. I agree with you. I like the Twins early. I think even money probably a little bit short of a price. Again, haven't run my numbers, but I'm guessing I'll see the Twins around -105, -110. So a little bit of value there. And this is an Orioles team that just can't hit the baseball. I mean, it's been a month of just struggle bus for pretty much everybody top to bottom in this lineup. And so at some point, you got to say this is the truth, not this is the outlier. And a month plus into the season starts to feel like the truth, Joe.
You know, it's funny because we were talking about this in the futures market coming into the season, and I just was pounding the table on, I could not fathom why Baltimore was the second shot in the American League East to win the division. I thought that they got worse in the offseason. It made no sense to me. You and I both have the Red Sox to win the American League East, which right now is a frustrating ticket to hold. And I'll use the word frustrating because, like you so astutely pointed out at our last commercial break, 11 of their 22 losses have come by one run. So the Sox should be a lot better than that 22-22 record. But Baltimore, it made no sense that they were a shorter price than Boston. Let's talk Boston. They're on the verge of getting swept. The Tigers have Skubal on the bump. Any way to bet this one that catches your attention early with Skubal pitching?
I don't like Skubal's underlying numbers are pretty accurate to what you're seeing from the oversight. Honestly, if I was going to do anything here, I'd be betting Boston first five. This is a Tigers lineup that I don't trust top to bottom. We saw them hit the baseball very well against a Rockies pitching staff that isn't very good, and that's one of the reasons we've seen this just abundance of runs from them. This is a Tigers team that's been in competition for the best record in the majors. I still don't love the offense. You look through the lineup and what we are seeing from them top to bottom, and where is the depth? Where is the hitters that you're really worried about? And I say that. They put up 14 and 10 the last 2 days. So they are hitting the baseball, but you've got Torkelson hitting in the 4 or the 5 spot. It's Green and McKinstry and Graybar Torres is hitting 2 for them who couldn't stick in the Yankees lineup. You look top to bottom in this and you're like, this isn't very good. It's just very good right now. And so I would always play against that and try and take, some version of Red Sox first five here where you're probably catching plus 200 in a situation where they probably shouldn't be 2-1. You can catch the half run with Boston. You're probably catching plus 130, plus 140. If I'm catching a half run in 5 innings and I'm catching plus money with a starting pitcher that I think is decent and the better offense, I'll often try and take a shot there.
Sox striking out last 3 games, nearly 11 times per game on the road. 9.8 per game on the season, 4th worst mark on the road in baseball. Do you go Skubal over 7.5 Ks, even money? He's gone over that, including double-digit performances twice in his last 3, over 7.5, 3 straight. Thoughts there?
I don't hate that. If we can get a 6.5 at even money, if we're sitting at the problem, if we're 7.5, it starts to get a little bit more expensive. He has traditionally pitched okay against this Boston lineup in 55 at-bats. He's got a 273 batting average against 12 Ks in those 55 at-bats. So if you do the quick math here, that projects out to about 1 strikeout an inning. So you're right in line with if he goes 7, he strikes out 7. I'm tempted. I don't love playing overs on these type of guys, Joe. That's my biggest concern when you ask me that question.
Yeah.
If it's the really good pitchers, if you don't bet it immediately when that strikeout prop is released, you're usually paying a premium for backing these type of starters. And that makes it hard for me. It's why you'll rarely see me on Skeens type of props. If I'm taking Skeens, give me under walks, not over strikeouts, because that's bet a lot less by the public. So maybe you look under walks here for Skubal, depending on what you can get that number at, because he has been a pitcher who has been able to, for the most part, limit his walks. He's got 0 walks this month. He's only got 5 on the season. If you can get an under 1.5, if you can get under half at plus money, I would rather take that than an over strikeouts number.
Yeah, I've been staying away from Paul Skeens props really since I guess last September when that premium just got out of control. Mike,
ridiculous.
It's so absurd. Before we wrap up here, I do want to hit the ice. Stanley Cup playoffs. You've got a play coming out of the Eastern Conference in the futures market that stands out to me. What do you like?
Yeah, this is just a numbers play for me. Give me the Panthers here to win the Eastern Conference. You can get them at plus 190 right now to win the East. So they would have to get through the Toronto Maple Leafs and then most likely get through the Carolina Hurricanes, who are up 3-1 in the other series. Well, they're minus 190 to get through Toronto right now if you wanted to bet them in the open market. And I have them as a significant favorite over Carolina. To me, they're a better version of Carolina. My models have it as high as -170, -180. I will happily take +190 to win the East, considering I'm a -190 favorite according to the market to get through this series. And then my numbers have me at -170, -180 in the next series. So it's just a simple mathematical play for me. The eyes tell the story as well. This Florida team found their game in the second period of Game 3 when they were at home. If they can take that game up to Toronto, they're going to cause trouble here in Game 5. And this is a Florida team who, if they do face Carolina, are just simply a better version of Carolina. They've got more offense. Both teams can dominate the puck, but Florida can score the puck as well. Carolina struggles to do so. So I like Florida quite a bit if that is our Eastern Conference Finals matchup. And right now we're -190 to get through the current round. The +190 to win the Eastern Conference makes a ton of sense for this Florida Panthers team.
I love it. Mike, final 45 seconds. Any closing thoughts on Edmonton, Vegas, Game 5? Oilers looking to close it out right here in Las Vegas?
You know, Joe, I would give you my thoughts, but you don't want them. I've been terrible in this series, and I'm more than willing to admit it. I think that I thought the LA Kings were better than Edmonton. I think Vegas is way better than Edmonton. It has not played out that way on the ice, and it is a very frustrating situation. I mean, at this point, Edmonton +113 because they're catching money, and they've clearly been able to outplay Vegas, even though they don't have as much talent as the Golden Knights do.
Yeah, the Knights look banged up. They look tired. It just does not look good for Vegas. Mike, as always, man, sensational stuff. Really appreciate you hopping on. I know it's a busy week. Good luck with your Preakness plays.
Appreciate it, Joe. You as well. Let's get these Yankees.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Headed to the middle of the 10th. VSiN host, expert analyst Mike Somich with us on the Progressive Guest Line. More Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo after the break.
En The Home Depot, te traemos el secreto para tener el mejor jardín. Empieza agregando Miracle Grow Soil a tu jardín. Tiene todo lo que tus plantas necesitan para crecer fuertes. Llévate ahora en compra especial 4 bolsas por $10. Después, mantén alejadas las malas hierbas con Scott's Earth Grow Mulch. Ahora 4 bolsas por $10. Y listo, nadie tiene por qué enterarse. Llévate todo para tu jardín con los ahorros de Memorial Day en The Home Depot.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
What terrific stuff right there from our guy Mike Somich joining us. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo, taking you through your Tuesday night, late hours of it. We've got a final at Dodger Stadium, 11-1. The A's win it. I believe San Francisco just went final. They did 10-6 over Arizona. How's that for timing? Rowdy Tellez up, bottom of the 10th. Mastrobuoni just got out. Not sure who the lead runner is, but ghost runner rather, on third. 1 out, bottom 10. Tellez, always a sac fly possibility. Looks at strike one, 94 miles per hour outside corner from Devin Williams, who has been lost in space out there for the Yankees. I mean, I guess bottom of the 10th, you go to your closer, but man, not the guy you want winning run and scoring position with these extra inning ghost runner rules. Pitch 2, and Williams at the knees. That was a beaut. 85 mile per hour changeup. Bottom fell out from under it. That was a gorgeous pitch. Looked like it was running inside corner and just dropped. Plenty of plate, but at the knees. And Tellez just froze. He knew that was in his wheelhouse. Here's the third pitch, and shallow center is... Oh, that's not going to get the run in. Wow. Shortstop was out on that one. Ends up F8, believe that's Belly. Oh, no, Grisham, excuse me, Trent Grisham. But Tellez, guy, you needed a fly ball. Well, you got a little Little League pop-up out of them. 2 outs for the Mariners. They're going to need a base knock to win this here in 10. Otherwise, we go to the 11th. Remember, if the Yankees win, and it pains me to root for the New York Yankees, if the Yankees win, that's a 4-0 day. 3-0 for the VSiN Daily Morning Bets. We bet OKC live -1.5 in hour 1 of the show, and it was 96 all. Thunder -1.5, -105 odds. So we're 3-0 on the day. We are 9 for 10, 9-1 last 2 days on the program. A Yankees win would make us 10 for our last 11 in a 48-hour span. We are on a heater right here on cashing out. Let's see if we can keep it moving. So the Giants go final, 10-6 over the D-backs. That game was about a pick'em with opposing Ray on the bump, as Tavares works the count 1-1 for the Mariners. 2 outs. Mitch Garver, the ghost runner, on third. The A's just absolutely dominated the Dodgers. Man, I mean, we had pointed towards LA maybe being a run line play. They were down 6-1. Could have gotten plus 3.5 runs at plus money, plus $1.05. Nope, 11-1 the final there. LA would not score the rest of the way. The A's bats are something. And let me tell you, the Dodgers came into this one 15-3. Their record at home at Dodger Stadium. That's just their 4th home loss of the year. The A's, one of the few teams in baseball in a year home teams are winning right around a 60% clip. The Athletics, I almost slipped. You almost got me. I almost said a city name in front of the Athletics. The Athletics are one of the few teams, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they're now 14-7 on the road. They have been far better on the road, and 14-7. So they're 22-20 on the year. That means they're 6-13 at home, 14-7 on the road. They're winning 2 out of 3 away from that AAA ballpark in Sacktown. 2-2 count to Tavares. Can Devin Williams right the ship? Get out of this inning, a man on third and 1 out. Can he send it to the 11th? Here's the pitch. Fastball, outside corner, fouled off. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Padres, by the way, I completely lost track of this game. They bounced back. They were in jeopardy of blowing leads in the late innings back-to-back nights. Game 1 of the series, of course. It was all the 9th inning. They went in up 5-3. They lost 9-5. Here's the pitch from Williams and another foul ball. In this one, they went into the 7th up 2-1, came out trailing 4-2, but they tacked on 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. There was a Fernando Tatis Jr. 430-foot home run in the 9th, the exclamation point, the walk-off. Oh, shoot, yeah, it was a walk-off win. Tied 4-4 in the 9th. Tatis sent it home, 430 feet. Wow. Kenley Jansen with the loss. His ERA is 6.5 on the year, coming out of the pen for the Angels. Here's the pitch from Williams, 2-2 count, and it's going to go 4-3. Tavares can fly. Wow. That was a routine ground ball to second base. Tavares had his jets on and just out by about a step. We head to the 11th at T-Mobile. It kills me to not be rooting for the Mariners right now, but we want the 4-0 day. We want the sweep. We want 10 out of 11 in the last 48 hours. So as much as it kills me, let's go Yankees. We're rooting for our bets. That's how I'm gonna justify it with myself, because my parents might disown me if they find out I'm rooting for the Yankees right now. I'm not rooting for the Yankees. I'm rooting for my money. So the Padres, 6-4, big comeback win. 4 runs in the final 2 innings as San Diego gets home over the Angels. And now we shift focus to Wednesday's MLB slate. But before we do that, folks, don't you want to know where the money is really going? Well, if these pages can stop sticking together, I'll tell you. Unlike other sources, our betting splits here at VSiN come straight from Circa and DraftKings, giving you insight into where the sharp action's landing. Circa is known, of course, for taking big bets from the pros, while DraftKings provides more of a broad market perspective. That means you're getting the real action, not just public money, but the kind of wagers that move the lines. See the percentage of bets versus the handle on every game across every major sport, helping you make smart smarter, more informed bets. Get VSiN's exclusive betting splits for as little as $9.99 your first 30 days over at VSiN.com/subscribe. So we head to the 11th at T-Mobile. Let's take a look at tomorrow's slate, shall we? We've got Scooble on the bump for Detroit, and I might look for that K-prop. You know, we were talking with Somich there about, paying a premium, and he's spot on. I mean, everything he said was 1,000% correct. You do pay a premium on Cy Young winning or Cy Young caliber pitchers. It's the nature of the beast. At DraftKings, he's minus 110 to go over 7.5. FanDuel and Boyd plus $1.10 to go over that. You can go outs recorded. Is there an outs recorded number? I'm not seeing one at DraftKings actually yet. Might have to wait for that. Earned runs allowed. I mean, under 1.5 earned, you got to lay 75 cents. What the hell are we doing here? Laying 75 cents for under 1.5? I'll tell you what, I'm going to go the strikeout route with Scooble. We took, and obviously there was no show Saturday, but I tweeted it out, and I tweeted out the Google sheet that's got all my picks. I encourage you to go to my Twitter, at the Joe Ceraulo. First off, tweet at us. Best tweets get read on air. Worst tweets, if they're funny, they'll get read. If they're not, you'll get blocked. But go to at the Joe Ceraulo. My recent tweets, you'll find the Google sheet, all of my picks in 2025. There have been 415 of them pending this Yankees outcome. We are 229 and 186. And in the month of May, coming off in April, where transparency is big here with me, April, we were down about 2.5 units. March, best month of my life, over 20 units up in the green. March Madness, we went on a tear. April came back down to earth a little bit. Finished strong to hover around 500, but down 2.5 units. After March, that's piss in the ocean. I'm fine with that. May, we're not even halfway through May. We're up 18, I haven't added the Thunder result here. I'm waiting for the Yankees game to do so. We're up 19.6 units in May, not even halfway through the month. We might have the best month of our lives here on Cashing Out this May. All we got to do is tread water the rest of the way to do so. Yankees, by the way, quickly 2 outs. They got the runner to third. Volpe, the 6-hitter, is up. He's 0 for 3 on the night. So man on third, 2 outs for Anthony Volpe. Quick 5-pitch inning thus far for Legumina. I don't even know who he is, the Mariners reliever. Trying to get out of it here unscathed, give his team a chance to win in the bottom half of the 11th. But we're on an absolute tear in this month of May. And the reason I bring up the Google sheet is because on Saturday, May 10th, no show, I tweeted out our MLB picks. One of them was a lefty, ace, over 7.5 Ks against the Red Sox. It was Cole Reagans, and I actually had to lay 5 cents for that. So now at FanDuel and Boyd, you're getting Scooble, who I love Cole Reagans, but let's face it, Scooble's a little better than Cole Reagans. Same number, over 7.5 Ks. Plus $1.10. You're getting 15 cents better on Scooble. He's gone over this in 3 straight. The Red Sox have struck out 10 2/3 times a game in their last 3. On the road, 9.8 Ks per game on the year, and they don't hit lefties particularly well. Even though you are paying a bit of a premium, I'm going to take it with Scooble. Over 7.5 Ks against Boston Wednesday.
En The Home Depot, te traemos el secreto para tener el mejor jardín. Empieza agregando Miracle Grow Soil a tu jardín. Tiene todo lo que tus plantas necesitan para crecer fuertes. Llévate ahora en compra especial 4 bolsas por $10. Después, mantén alejadas las malas hierbas con Scott's Earth Grow Mulch. Ahora 4 bolsas por $10. Y listo, nadie tiene por qué enterarse. Llévate todo para tu jardín con los ahorros de Memorial Day en The Home Depot.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.